fight went on for 2 hours. The manager at the store, they watching. Then nobody seemed to pick up the phone and call the police before it escalated. 2 young girls is in jail now because of the situation they got into trying to get out to save their life.
At the court, why did she kill my daughter? That's all. That's all. What was the purpose? I said, she had 2 little kids too.
My mom pulled me to the side, right? After she done sit there and talk to Mary for about.
Disclaimer. There may be some video and images presented that are not suitable for children for sure, or those that are sensitive to profanity and heated situations. Again, this video is made and created by your girl Anna B with the help of other resources. Viewer discretion is advised. Now let's get into it. The following is not an Anna B interview. Meranda and Fanae spoke with a man named William, who is also incarcerated in a North Carolina prison, serving 35 years. This is the first and only time either of the women have spoken out since their conviction.
Hey, my name is Fanae, and I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina. They gave me a minimum of 10 years. I was convicted of accessory after the fact to murder, accessory after the fact to about 7 hit and runs, and accessory after the fact to inflicting serious body injury. Yes. Okay, for starters, like, I do want to apologize to the family. I want to send my condolences out to them and, you know, everybody who was hurt in this incident, you know, because it took a toll on all of us, you know. So I do want to say I apologize, and my prayers and love goes to each and every one of everybody who was involved. But moving forward, so first of all, the police did not do the job that it was supposed to do. They did not do the work they were supposed to do, and they didn't handle our case how they were supposed to handle. The detectives didn't do. They just charged us. So I say this to say because when I initially came to the gas station, they just made it seem like we was just aggressive when that wasn't the case at all. I was actually trying to talk to the girl because I did sideswipe her car, and I got out, and I tried to talk to her, but it escalated from there. So they made it seem like it was just an aggressive thing when it really wasn't. You know, I was trying to do the right thing by stopping and getting out because everything on the car was legit. So that had happened. Then the police, we had made several phone calls to the police officers, Greensboro Police Department. They did not come out until 20 minutes later. The fight been going on. A fight had broke out. Me and my co-defendant was getting jumped, and you know they didn't come out until 20 minutes later. So I feel like if they would have came beforehand when the police, when we started making the first calls, then it could have prevented all of this. You know. Like, it was certain videos that they were supposed to play, like, when the officer initially, approached me, and they did not play that video. They only played the clip of when they, started arresting me, but it was 17 seconds before that when I was cooperating with them when they said that I didn't. They left that out. So, you know, I'm just confused of why. If they would have played that video, it could have helped a lot in the situation, just like if they would have came 20 minutes early when the phone calls was being made to the police department, it could have prevented, you know. I just feel like
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
they wanted to make an example, out of me. So I just don't understand, like out of all those people that was out there, me and Meranda was the only ones that were charged. And I just don't understand that because before the incident even happened with the car, like you said, Miss ZANELLE, she was already on the ground, from a girl hitting her with brass knuckles. Just like the girls came up there to the gas station to jump us, Like, it was an accident that went wrong. I tried to handle it as a woman. I got out the car, trying to talk to them, because I actually knew the girl. That's the crazy part about it. I grew up with that girl that I like her car. And I tried to talk to her, but I guess apparently everybody wants money these days. So she just didn't want to hear. She was like, oh, so I was like, you know what, okay. So I'm going to have to say at this point, because I didn't want to leave the scene at that point. But I didn't know.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
She was calling people up there to jump us, so it got pretty ugly, These people that came up there, that the fight broke out with were called from the girl who I found like her car. And to come to find out, when she testified in court, because in the video, of course, there's a video. When I got the car, when I saw her car, I paused because I'm like, I wasn't for sure if I saw her car or not. I'm not going to lie, I had one too many drinks. So I wasn't for sure. And the girls that was with me was like, yeah, you saw her car. I'm like, oh, man, I got to get out, you guys. I got to get out. So I got out to go talk to her, and she just started blowing up. So I'm not going to, once she started blowing up, I started blowing up, and we had a little argument, but the whole time I'm thinking she calling the police, so, they can go ahead and do whatever they got to do, but she's calling girls up there to jump us, and that's how the fight came about because she called her friends to come jump us, We in here, and someone lost their life that night, ZANELLE, and people were hurt, so it's like everybody was affected by that, you know what I'm saying? It was an accident that went wrong initially, and if I felt like if we could have talked like women, which I thought was going to happen at first, then none of this would have had took place, like it didn't have to turn into a fight or nothing. Nowadays you can't even have an accident because the next thing you know, somebody go either try to shoot you or try to jump you or whatever, even if you try to admit you're wrong. So it's like, what do I do? Do I stay? Do I go? Because now I don't know what's going to happen. I've been incarcerated now. I'm going on 3 years. I mean, this is my first time being in prison, so, it's been hard, trying to adjust. I don't think I can ever get used to this, I don't think anybody can ever get used to living in prison, So, I mean, it's been tough. It's been a road. Actually, they haven't given me any help,
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
I've been joining classes, and I work in the kitchen. I went back to school for my GED. I took classes here, but just like as far as simple help, no, they have not been helping me. They have not put me in the directions that I need to be in, or even, giving us anything to look up, that can help us or to help us better ourselves. It's none of that, unfortunately. I recently got kicked out of school. The teacher, I was packing up my stuff. The school ended at like 3:30. We've been there since like 7 a.m. And I was packing my stuff at 3:15, and the teacher didn't like that. And she said she was really upset about me packing my stuff at 3:15. And I'm just like, oh, I didn't know, because everybody, it's 3:30. I'm like, oh, I'm just getting ready, I'm getting my books and stuff together. This lady going to tell me, well, you know what, you can just leave. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? Do I come back? Like, she said, no, you do not come back. And so I tried to talk to her, and I was like, please, this is my last test. I want to graduate in May. And I'm like, please don't do this. I worked hard for this. And she's like, if you don't leave right now, I'm going to call the police. So she decided to pick up the phone and call the SARS and the COs back at my block. And when I got there, they ball rushed me like, you can't go back to school and all this and that. And I'm like, you know, it was upsetting because I really worked hard for that, and I just hate that they can take stuff from us like that, and it was really no reason, and nothing could be done. I talked to the warden, I talked to everybody, because I really just want to go back to school to finish this one test, and it's not happening. Right now, they moved me from my block because I'm unassigned. So right now I just had to pack up and move to another block, another cell. So right now everything is at a standstill, unfortunately. And I'm not gonna lie, it hurt in my feelings because I'm like, I'm almost there. You know, I'm excited. You know, I was supposed to graduate in May, and I passed all my other tests, and I get down to this math test, and I'm studying. You know, I'm trying to get this thing, you know, knock it out the park. And I kept on my stuff and I was like, dang, like why did I pack up? So I started blaming myself, but in reality is I should not have been kicked out of class. I should not have been sent back. I should not have been escorted or none of that because I did not do nothing wrong. Okay, if I packed my stuff up at 3:15, if it was a problem, all she had to do was woman to woman is tell me, and I would have gladly opened my book and read another chapter if she wanted me to. You know, like even with the I know, and this probably is like, okay, I just want to throw it out there. Even with this being a women's prison, we can't even get pads. We can't even get tampons. We can't get, we got to beg for tissue. Like the pads, they give us 4 pads. And you know what, you never know if one is bleeding heavy or, you know,
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
They so disrespectful with everything, and there be women officers at that. They know what women go through when it's that time of month. They still handle us like disrespectful, disgusting, like it's terrible. You know, it's a lot of women in here, you know, that's been here before me, and you know, and we make things happen with each other. Like we try to help each other out as much as we can, and we try to. If we hear something about something like from a family member, we'll pass it on because the guards and you know the staff here, they're not going to tell us these things. So we try to help each other and pass things on and stuff like that. But right now, I mean, I don't know. Like we don't plead, we don't cry, and nothing is being done. Like we live it in mold. You know, we go weeks without hot showers or hot water because the water is, you know, it's cold, so they expect us. We just have to take showers in this cold water for weeks, and, you know, so I don't know. I mean, we ask, we plead, we be respectful, and it don't get us nowhere. It's like the officers here, they don't listen to people that respect them, and you know, I know I'm in prison, and I know that I'm here, and I know, you know, but don't treat me like I'm just some little animal or some, you know, don't disrespect me because I am somebody's mother, I'm somebody's daughter, I'm a child of God, so you know, don't just look down upon me because of what you think that you know about me, you know, because so it be tough because these women, like you know, the officers, they so disrespectful, and it's like, dang, and then they want to write you up for every little thing. So it's like you blow your breath too hard. They want to write you up, so now it's $10 out of your account. You know, some people ain't got it like that. So it's like, come on. I was devastated. I was heartbroken. I just felt like my world, like the life was sucked out of me. I try to handle it very like you know, be calm and stuff like that because my children were there. Like when they said we had to do trial, I was one of the first people there. Me and my children, one of the first people there, and. You know, I came and I held my head up high. I was not expecting this because, you know, what they convicted me of, I did not do. So I was not expecting to get that much time. So when they gave me the time, I'm just devastated because my children was sitting there, and I'm like, oh God, I'm so sorry. You know, I was 7.5 months pregnant, and I was hoping. Well, I was hoping that the judge would have let me go home to have my baby. I was thinking that he would at least let me go home, you know, and have my baby and say my goodbye to the rest of my children. But no, as soon as he said that, the police came in there in the courtroom, and it was like they thought I was going to run or something. I'm like, I'm 8 months pregnant. I'm not running nowhere, you know. I'm here. I've been here every day, you know. So, they just arrested me, you know, and took me to the county. Oh man, it was terrible. It was so heartbreaking. Like, I'm
This
sorry
call is
if
from
I
a North
get
Carolina
loud
correctional facility.
if I get emotional because I'm just very passionate. I don't want you guys to think I'm yelling or anything, but it was very hard because I never had to have a baby and, you know, give that baby away, you know. Well, he's with his father, but I just never had to be separated from my children. And it was very, very hard, and I'm still dealing with it now. It's still hard. It does not get easier, you know. And I was nervous. I was scared because I'm like, okay, I'm in prison. They're taking me to the doctor to have this baby, and I had to have a C-section. This was my first C-section out of 7 kids. So I was like, oh, my God, something will go wrong. They're not going to take care of me because, you know, I'm an inmate or, you know. So a lot of emotions and a lot of things was going through my brain, and I was not at ease at all. But to the grace of God, I did get through that delivery. Hallelujah. So I just, it was hard. It was hard to have to give my son up. And right after I had my baby, you know, everything was good. Me and him, I let him sleep there with me, you know, for the 3 days I had to stay there. And, you know, I just loved on him and loved on him and loved on him. And once I had him, the officer, when it was time for me to leave, the officer just got rude. Like the experience being in the hospital, let me just say this, it was really awful because they kept all the lights on in the room. I'm like, please, can you turn the lights off? Like, I'm trying to put this newborn baby to sleep. Please. They was very disrespectful, having this TV loud, you know. And I'm like, I get it, but I just had a baby. Like, can we just, you know, be a little concerned? Like, we all human, right? But it was really bad. The officers just did not care. And then the third day when I was leaving the hospital, I had to say my goodbyes to my son. I was getting in the car, and the officer, she was just like, hurry up, you know. And I'm like, you know, I just got stitches and stuff. I just had a baby, and she was just really rude. And it was from a woman, and that's why I was like, oh my God, like, you know, wow, I was really shocked. No, I was just going to say because when you are incarcerated and you're having a child, it's really hard and it's scary. It's even scarier when you're on the outside having a child because you can have your family and they can watch over you. And, you know, they see the baby when the baby comes out, and you know you have that extra support. When you in here, it's just like all these strangers looking at your business. And, you know, now you're thinking about yourself, you're thinking about your health, and then you also thinking about the little one that you bringing into this world. So it's very scary, and it's, you know, all I can say is pray, and that's what I did. And I have a beautiful baby boy. He's healthy, and so I just thank God. His name is Conceited with a K. My first, she's Anaya. She's 17. She's working 2 jobs. I'm telling her, don't overdo it, mommy. And she's thinking about joining the Navy, and you know her mind is on her shoulders, really good. And I'm just really proud of her. My 6-year-old, my son Jeremiah, you know he's having a little bit of time right now, and that's understandable. You know he feel like nobody is there because like my kids is I'm all they know. You know, I was a single mom, and so for this, it changed all
This
of us.
call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
And it was a wrecking ball through our world. But he, you know, he's having a tough time right now. I have a 14-year-old daughter named Akila, and now that's my prayer warrior right there. She'll play the house off the roof. Yeah, that's my prayer warrior right there, Akila. She's 14. My son Josiah, he's 12, and he's thinking about he's going to get baptized in 2 days, and he decided to do that on his own, you know. So I'm just thanking God. And then I have my 7-year-old Nevaeh. She's so precious, but she's the wrecking ball in the family. She is like she just going through everything and just going crazy. And she's like, "Mommy, I love you." She was like, "Mommy," and like she's so smart. But then I have my 4-year-old Zakaria. Oh my God, she's my twin all over again. She's so sweet. I was talking to her the other week, and she was like, "Look at the sky, Grandma, look at the sky." And I said, "Why she telling you look at the sky?" She said, "It's about to rain." And I was just applauding, so shocked at a 4-year-old knowing how to tell that the weather is changing by looking at the sky. Like, it was just amazing to me, and she's just so smart. And then I have my son, Conceited, with a K. Well, I was the only girl. I was the baby girl. And I grew up with my mom. You know, she was a single parent as well. But I also had my father in my life, you know, up until he got incarcerated. And, you know, on my dad's side, my grandmother, she would take me to church. She would dress me up all pretty, and, you know, and I'd be on the choir and, you know, ushering and stuff like that. And she taught me a lot of things, and she showed me a lot of love. The other side of the family, unfortunately, I didn't get that, you know, and it was very hard. It was very hard. It was almost like I was the black sheep, you know, and it's still like that today. Even with me being incarcerated, on my mother's side of the family, the support, I didn't get it. Like my grandmother on my father's side, she passed away, and that, you know, that hurt. That hurted me to the core. But with my family on my mother's side, the way they treated me, they tried to treat my children when I got incarcerated, you know. And because I try to shelter my children from that, so I didn't really take my children, you know, like to the get-togethers. We would go, but we wouldn't stay longer, you know, because I felt uncomfortable. I felt like everybody looked down on me, you know. I got 7 children, I'm young. You know, I started young and stuff like that, but I was doing the best that I could, you know, and I try to raise my children to be very respectful. But they started treating my children the same way they were treating me when I was a little kid, which was horrible. Like I said, my 17-year-old daughter, she works, she go to school, and you know, she's thinking about going to the Navy, you know, and some of my family members would be like, "Oh, you know, just putting her down," and it was really heartbreaking because it's like I didn't want them to relive what I went through, but you know, so I don't know. I know we're going through it right now, and I know we're separated, but I'm gonna kick it into existence, baby. Me and my children are going to be together again. I'm going to love them. I'm going to shower them with all the loves and hugs and the kisses, and you know, we want to be a family, eating meals together again, going to the beach together, you know. So me and 2 of my children lost their father, you know. He passed away, you know, and a few friends, a few really good friends, you know, like, okay, so you know, you have family, and you're not able to choose your family, right? But you create family. Like, you meet people, and they could become your family. You meet some of you meet people, and they become family to you. And
that's right.
I've lost some family, you know, along the way, and it's hurtful, and you know, but all I can say is you can't let this prison stuff break you, because it's meant to break us. It's meant to break us. It's designed to break us, and we can't allow it to break us. Yes, it would mean that I get to be with my children. I get to cook a meal for them. I get to watch over them. I get to rest knowing that they're safe, you know. I mean, it's all about, to me, it's all about my children. Like, I just want to be with my kids, you know, be with my family. I love them so much. So that's my motivation, you know. And that's what saves me from, from a lot of things we hear. Because I think about them, and I'm like, you know, I'm trying to get home to them. I'm trying to make it home to them. I'm trying to do the right thing for them. Because, like I said before, I'm trying to break generational curses with them. I refuse to let this curse fall on my children. You know, so I'm breaking it. And whatever I got to do to break it, that is what I'm going to do. So, I mean, my second chance is just being home with my family, you know, being there with my kids, you know, watching. I remember us watching scary movies in the living room, and everybody like, I want to be in the living room with them, watching scary movies in the dark, and everybody smacking on snacks and stuff. Like, you know, I want that again.
Well, according to North Carolina's Department of Adult Correction, Fanae will get that chance again to be around her children, to be present, a chance that ZANELLE and her two boys will never have. At this time, Fanae's projected release date is scheduled for March 28th, 2033. However, she's been in the Greensboro County Jail since June 23rd of this year, due to the fact that 3 of her convictions for accessory after the fact to Miranda's hit and run convictions were remanded back to district court for resentencing. I'll be sure to keep you all updated if there's any changes to occur. Thanks for listening. And until next time, y'all be good.